Hello, everyone. Mostly referring to my teacher. Not gonna name him, but I just wanted to say this. Anyways, I'm gonna be talking about um reconstruction plans, basically. Um, I'll start off with basic plans from Lincoln's plan to the Radical Republicans plan, and then to Johnson's plan. If you do not know, which you probably don't know, then this is for a school project. So just want to say, teacher, you know who you are that's watching this. Yeah. So might as well start, I guess. So let's start with the 1% plan proposed by Abe Lincoln. Everyone knows Abe Lincoln, the president of the United States, or was president of the United States. Led the Union against the Confederacy, beat the Confederacy, and then got shot in the back of the head by John Wilkes Booth. So he had a really very lenient plan about Reconstruction of the South. He wanted to only have it so 1%, like 1% of the state population, 1% of the state's population, to pledge allegiance to the Union. Just pledge. They don't have to like sign a document that says you have to just pledge allegiance. Basically, promise to say that they are not gonna ever secede ever again, and everything will go back to complete normalcy. And that a majority of the radical Republicans, or not radical Republicans, not there yet, of the Confederate leaders would be pardoned. Wait, let me. No, it's 10%. It was 10%. It was 10%. Correction. It was 10%. Okay, 10%. 10% plan. It's not 1%. I'm dumb. It's the 10%. 10% plan. By Abe Lincoln. Okay, the whole monologue. So basically, how the whole thing would work is that a military governor would rule over a district. Wait, no, it's a state. A state would rule over a state. After 10% of the state's population pledges allegiance to the Union, just promise that they won't secede ever again, Lincoln would get rid of the military governor and give back all their federal power. And also, Lincoln did plan to pardon several of the Confederate leaders, but that didn't happen since he kind of got shot in the back of the head. Yeah, so Lincoln's plan was immediately scratched. So, radical Republicans, I'm going to do a quick rundown. Basically, they wanted to destroy the South. They wanted to teach the South that we're conquered enemies and that they deserve to be punished for attempting to leave the Union and then losing. So, the radical Republicans had a very different plan. They made the Wade-Davis bill. The bill worked so that 51% of the state had to pledge allegiance to the Union and promise to not ever secede. Most Confederate leaders, no, all of them, would not be allowed to vote or have public office. So, like, they can't even be like a school board teacher or leader, since that's basically also a public office. Also, slavery would be abolished. If you didn't know that, and Lincoln's plan, slavery was not going to be abolished, and that Confederate debts would not be paid by the federal government. So any debts that the Confederates have would not be paid at all. The bill was initially vetoed by Abraham Lincoln, but after he got, assassinated, they couldn't really veto it anymore, and Johnson came to power. So, yeah. And then came Johnson's kind of weird plan. Yeah, it's something. Johnson's plan was a combination of both plans. It follows the 10% part of Lincoln's plan. So 10% of the state had to pledge allegiance to the Union and promise not to ever secede ever again. But he was not as lenient about the pardons and Confederate leaders, so he didn't really pardon them. So yeah, no public office, I guess. And Congress throughout this really thought that they should really pass the Wade Davis bill and lead Reconstruction. Well, Johnson wanted to just do it himself. And eventually, after a very hard fight, the Wade Davis bill eventually passed after Johnson kind of got, kind of slapped on his hand and said that if you try to do that again, we'll throw you out of office. But yeah. Anyways, the Wade Davis bill, it was first sponsored by Senator Benjamin Wade of Ohio and Representative Henry Davis of Maryland. And they wanted to grant African American slaves the right to vote as well in the Wade Davis bill. And Lincoln's plan, 10%, really didn't say anything about African Americans, which is kind of odd, especially hearing it from saying that Lincoln did not want to free the slaves. So he did want to free him, but he didn't want to free him immediately and cause a mass panic. And then there goes, I guess, back to the, what happened with plans, I guess. Basically, the plans worked like basically this. The way Davis bill passed, of course, the South was really, really angry that they kind of got robbed and they're being punished for attempting to protect their quote-unquote rights, because they thought that having slaves was their rightful law and that they could do that, but now they just got taken away. And another thing that happened was that Confederate states will also have to promise on the Wade Davis bill, Wade Davis bill, to uphold the 13th Amendment, which abolished slavery, and also passed later on more amendments, the 14th, 15th Amendment, which would be basically saying that they have to guarantee that they would have citizenship and promise not to make them slaves ever again. Basically, that's what both of them are. I'm not sure. I'm not going to say which one because I don't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. Also, Confederate leaders could not vote. Yeah, they cannot vote. Yeah, in both plans, except for Lincoln's plan, they cannot vote. So, yeah, no voting for them. I mean, other than that, then that's most of the things summed up. The outcome really was that they got angry. Lots of different actions. The KKK was formed. Lots of bad things happened, but that's just, it is what it is, basically. And I think that's just, that's threshold. 8 minutes. Yeah, 8 minutes. Okay. And hope you enjoyed. Teacher, if you're watching this, give me an A, please. Okay, bye bye.